Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Look, okay, I gotta bear with me, right? Because this is gonna get a little rocky because we're dealing with anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic, right? And I'm sure others are going to build on top of this knowledge because it's a difficult subject. So we want to start from the beginning. But first I want to say that Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, and those that are in the media today, the whole purpose was to discuss this topic and see what's actually going on, right? Now we're going to start with the symbol that Hitler adopted, the swastika, which was considered a symbol of hate. But prior to Hitler hijacking the swastika, it wasn't meant as a symbol of hate. It says, what is the history of the swastika, right? The oldest known example of the swastika dates back some 15,000 years, discovered in Ukraine in 1908. An ivory mammoth tusk carved into the shape of a bird includes an intricate pattern of connected swastikas on its body, which may have been used as a fertility symbol. There is no knowing how the design first came about. It may have simply been an elegant essay to create geometric shapes, although its inspiration possibly came from a comet in the night sky. That's what they're saying. It was also in Eastern Europe that single swastika were carved by the Veneca culture during the Neolithic period, some 7,000 years ago. Before they became widespread from the Bronze Age, the swastika symbolized the sun to the Illyrians, which is Illyrians, became a common sight of the Mesopotamian coins, appeared on a vase and clothing in Greece, formed mosaic motifs in Rome, and stands in as stylized cross in Celtic design. There are 27 swastikas on the Iron Age Battersea Shield, which is found in London in 1857. But the symbol had been in Britain long before that as the so-called swastika stone on likely Moor, Yorkshire, from 2000 BC, shows the carving resembling the swastika shape, although with more curved arms and added spots. Okay, now look. Now let me show you all something real quick. The Moors was there. It says derived from the Latin word Marius. The term was originally used to describe Berbers and other people from the ancient Roman province of Mauritania and what is now North Africa. Over time, it was increasingly applied to Muslims living in Europe. So North Africa at one point was ancient Rome. So the Moors had roamed from North Africa to Italy, black Moors, and had the swastika. Hitler took the swastika and used it as a hate against the Jews. It's something in that, but I haven't delved that deep yet to find a connection of or see what actually took place, right? But we're not through. We're not through. Y'all know how we do it. And so Now, okay. Now, so it says that language, the language of the Semitic people, right? Arabic, which first emerged in the northwest of the Arabian Peninsula, is a member of the Semitic family of languages, which also includes Hebrew and Aramaic. Whilst very early manifestations of Arabic date back as far as the 8th century BCE, the language has been defined and refined over a considerable period of time. Now, wait a minute. If Aramaic is an original Semitic language in the 18th century BCE, well, Europe was still in Europe. We trying to understand. Wait. What's actually going on? Okay. So that means then that something is not right. It's because it says in Europe, late in the century, right? Hold on, we're going to start right here. Right here. The 8th century is the period from 701 through 800. In accordance with the Julian calendar, the coast of North Africa and the Iberian Peninsula quickly came under Islamic Arab domination. So Islam in the 8th century was taking North Africa and Iberian Peninsula, right? And they speaking a Semitic language. They are introducing that Semitic language around the world into Europe. So the Europeans that was in the Europeans that were is it in a nomadic tribes or Germanic tribes or the Norsemen, put like that, wasn't speaking Semitic languages. The Semitic language was introduced to the Europeans. So now I'm understanding why Whoopi Goldberg was saying, well, it was white on white crime, because you had your white people who took on the culture and the religion of Judaism or Hebrewism. And so now when you have black people saying, well, wait a minute, we're the original Jews, our ancestors, so-and-so, so how you going to call anybody black for being an anti-Semite, for talking about their own people and their own race? Well, the white Jews are saying, yeah, but we took it over, so it's ours now. And so the black people say, well, let me find this in history, and let's talk about it. Let's do the debate, right? It's like now we at a standstill. Look, so the Iberian Peninsula quickly came under Islamic Arab domination. The westward expansion of the Umayyad Empire was famously halted at the siege of Constantinople by the Byzantine Empire and the Battle of Tours by the Franks. The tide of Arab conquest came to an end in the middle of the 8th century. So then that means then that, okay, all of this is tied into it, right? The Byzantine Empire, the Moors, the what do you call it? With the Knights Templars, with Saladin, all of that is tied. We gotta pull it out. In Europe, late in the century, the Vikings, seafaring people from Scandinavia, began raiding the coast of Europe and the Mediterranean and go on to found several important kingdoms. And what they're saying is that, okay, so North Africa had the Roman Empire. They go on into Europe and was conquering that part of Europe, right? Speaking Arabic. Now here goes the Vikings and the Scandinavians out of Europe, coming out the caves or coming out of Europe and conquering or going into war with those areas that the Moors had, right? So now, from that point on, they're going to the areas that the Moors had. Now they're being introduced to culture. And let me give you an example of that. Before the Tuol Indians, before the Soto, before the Spanish invasion and of the Americas, right? Then you had the black natives in the Americas. After they were conquered by the Spaniards, then what happened? Even though you conquered the native people of the land, that land still encompassed you. You still had to come up under their language, their accents, their codes of living in that area. You don't come from an outside place, even if you conquer it, and you're not going to be embodied by the culture of the place that was there in existence thousands of years before you even knew the place existed. Right? So that's where we at. So the point is, how can European Jews denounce black Jews when the language of the Semitic people was created by black people before European Jews was European Hebrews or called themselves Hebrews? I don't know. This is what history is stating. So we're going to have to, somebody. I know they have that movie, what is it called? From Hebrew to Negroes. We got to check all of this out because it's a very important topic at the present date. Why is it important? Because every aspect of black life had been hidden. And then they tried to bury it. Then they tried to scatter it all over the world to keep black people from knowing their true identity and where they stood on in place of, on their place within or on the earth. And so now things are starting to come up that you can't hide. Meaning you can't hide it. You can try, but everything is going to cream going to rise to the top. Everything's going to rise to the surface. There's nothing you can do about it. So now the thirst and the hunger for knowledge is present, and now it's becoming a problem because somebody wants the truth to be discovered and somebody does not want the truth to be discovered. They want to keep it hid. So now there's a battle between light and darkness. And so we're going to see how all this thing plays out, and we'll keep you posted here on Verbal Pick Radio. Not saying that this is competition, no. This is necessary knowledge that needs to be brought forth when you're dealing with adults, man and woman, right? Adults. When you're dealing with issues, adults, that's why we have systems, arbitration systems, to where we can do this thing in a critical thinking manner and still be adults at the beginning and at the end of the day. Verbal Pick Radio. We'll bring you more later as more truth are being uncovered.